Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody has been doing okay, been doing well. I send blessings, peace, and healing to everybody who watched my videos. I want you to know that I really appreciate you, and please like and share my videos. Uh, I wanted to make a video today about the eclipse that just occurred at 6:49 this morning. It was a solar eclipse, I believe in Scorpio. Yeah, it was solar eclipse in Scorpio. Now, a lot more people are getting involved and becoming interested in astrology. And that's a great thing. That's what we need to do. But we have, planetary alignments and planets aspecting each other every day. But this particular aspect, um, this particular eclipse and its aspects and planetary alignments are very, very, very crucial and important. Now, for you unbelievers that are watching, I appreciate you watching. Um, you don't have to believe in astrology, but just because you don't believe in something does not mean that it does not affect you. Now, my disclaimer is that I am by no means a professional astrologer. I do know something. I can read a chart to an extent. When I hear about planetary alignments, I know something about what they mean, but I am by no means Aquarius Maximus or Rabino Rastaban, um, and others. Those are the ones that I can think of right off the tip of my head. They are master astrologers and whatever else that they're doing. I know Aquarius Maximus is a master cardologist also. So I'm not a professional, but I do take heed to certain alignments. Now, the one alignment that I have been taking heed to and I monitor and keep track of all the time is the Mercury retrogrades. All right. Um, I keep track of the somewhat the void of course moons, because all that means something. All that affects you and me, and I'm a witness that it has an effect on us, especially Mercury retrogrades. I watch out for that. I make sure that I don't start nothing new on no retrograde. I make sure that uh, I don't get no car work done on no retrograde or any type of mechanical work done on a retrograde. You know why? Because I've experienced doing those things, getting a car fixed out of expediency. It just didn't want to work. Wait. And I had to go back again and again for that same problem. That's what Mercury retrogrades do when you do things like get your car fixed, buy a new car. It puts you in a cycle to where you have to do that same thing over and over again. I remember when my heat went out, and I would have waited to get the air conditioning fixed, but I think it went out in August, and August where I live is just way too hot. And I knew it was a retrograde, but I had to get this done. Would you, honey, that same problem kept happening. I had to call these people out 4 times to finally fix that one problem after having it done on a retrograde, because it kept breaking down, that same problem breaking down. Then they found out that wasn't really the problem, it was another problem. All this stuff like that always happening on a retrograde. So I know to look out for the Mercury retrogrades. So I don't really keep up too much with a lot of other planetary alignments, but this solar eclipse is very, very important. Very important. And also, I believe it's I don't think we're Let me see. I don't think we're still in Libra. Okay, yes, we are. I'm sorry. We are. We are, I think. I think. Or we just got into Scorpio. Whatever. Um, y'all look it up for yourselves, please. Don't just let somebody tell you something. Always look it up for yourself. But this not only is it a solar eclipse, but there is a square from the sun and Venus and other, and I think on another planet to Pluto in Capricorn. All right. So tell you just a little bit about the eclipses is that they mean to cut off. So you don't want to do anything important during a solar eclipse. You don't want to sign no papers. You don't want to make no deals. That's the same with Mercury retrograde, really. But uh, at least Mercury retrograde would give you a chance to redeem yourself. But I don't believe that's so with an eclipse. Uh, it'll cut off the success. It won't turn out right. It most likely won't turn out the way you want it to and stuff like that. So you don't want to do anything you want to push for, initiate anything you want to push for, or it's going to be very important in your life going for a future right before an eclipse. All right, especially not the 3 days before the eclipse. You could probably do it like a week or two before an eclipse, but definitely not before it. So you want to look out for the eclipses too when it comes to initiating new projects and signing contracts and collaborations and deals and whatever it is that you're doing. But I want to get into the particular planetary alignments and aspects of this particular eclipse that happened today at 6:49 a.m. this morning. About a week or so, maybe 2 weeks ago, I started a certain darkness, deepness. I've suffered from depression most of my life. So I'm still not where I should be, but I'm much, much better than I've been in previous years. But I started feeling depressed. I started thinking about things that I always used to think about and turn over in my mind over and over again. And I'm like, why am I thinking this way? Why am I thinking about that? I thought I came to terms with where I was at this time in my life. Why am I thinking about how I could have did this or that, or how, it just kind of like going back deep, thinking about things that I went through with parents and family and stuff like that. And I'm like, why am I thinking like that? So I was online one day about a week ago. I'm gonna say 2 weeks ago. I was online, and I saw a post on Facebook by Aquarius Maximus, and I saw a post on Twitter about by some white dude. I'm not familiar with him, talking about this eclipse. And after I read what they had to say, I understood why these dark, deep feelings and thoughts were coming up to the surface. And that's what a lot of times Pluto tends to do. But it doesn't do that necessarily to hurt you. It does that to make you deal with those dark energies, those dark feelings, that trauma and stuff like that. That's what it does. It brings it to the fore so you can heal it. But if you don't know that is happening, and especially if it's happening as a result of a planetary alignment or some type of major event like an eclipse, then you don't take it like that. You don't say, "Oh, okay, this is my time to really heal this stuff." I've been putting it on the back burner, but it's still in the dark recesses of my mind. You don't take it like that. You don't get busy and do what you need to do to work with those feelings and those traumas that are just have come to the fore all of a sudden. You act on it. You eat up that dark energy, and it puts you in a darker place. Depression, as far as depression goes, and just feeling, um, hopeless about things, and now you're being affected, and you're affecting everybody around you, your children and your mates and co-workers, people that didn't have anything to do with that trauma. Maybe they did, I don't know. You're not looking at it from a standpoint it's time to heal. It's like you're feeding into it. And what they were saying, and actually if you know a little bit about astrology and you can read and understand those alignments, uh, you know that this is an alignment that can cause people to not want to be here anymore. Let's put it that way. It's very depressing. It can manifest as a very negative energy if you don't know what to do with it, and most people usually don't. They usually don't. So don't be surprised when you start hearing about some very negative events and people doing things and things happening around you, because that's what these certain alignments they tend to bring out the worst in you if you're not careful. So not only that, the eclipses, they don't just have an effect on you for that moment. Like Mercury retrograde has an effect, certain effect on you and your business and your life for about 3 weeks, and then there's a shadow before a week before the retrograde where things start, messing up, and your computer starts, laptop and phone start, everything just goes up in the air. And then once the retrograde and the shadow period is over, well, you should be okay. All right, unless you did some things that didn't align with the energy, and you might have to keep doing it over and over again. Like I said, I had my car getting fixed on a retrograde, my air conditioning set, But other than that, this depressive energy can last for up to a year and a half, maybe longer. But I believe it's like it can be like 18 months or something like that the effects of a very powerful eclipse can last on humanity, and weigh down on cause issues that you wouldn't otherwise would have wouldn't even be thinking of. So I had all these depressive. I'm like, why am I thinking like this? So when I saw those posts from those astrologers who were talking about this alignment, I knew why all this trauma and this depression that I had overcome to a very, very large expense was coming to the forefront. So now instead of feeding into it, I know I can do things to just block it out of my mind. Remind myself I'm over that. It's over with and done. I don't have to worry about it no more. I've done better. I've decided to take a little short class or something to get my mind off of it, or anything that comes up. You know what I'm saying? This is also a time for transformation and growing. So I just want you all to be aware of that. Because like I said, just because you don't believe in something don't mean it cannot affect you in the worst way. Just like it can affect you in a great way, in a good way. But most times you have to be prepared to be in place and be open to those good and open to those negative effects. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now, the effects, this eclipse, like I said, go look it up. I should have wrote it down. I'm sorry, so I could have told you exactly what the eclipse, the planetary alignments involved in and so forth. But I also read into this eclipse something about the legal system and these corporations. Now, Pluto is in Capricorn. Wherever Pluto goes, it stays for a while, and it totally transforms everything that sign is about. But before Pluto can transform it, it might have to destroy it first. So, like I said, Pluto's been in Capricorn for a minute, so we've been having a transition of how in the business, in the corporate, sector. A lot of people's businesses going out of business. A lot of businesses consolidating, but most of the part, it's affecting the business sector. I have never seen so many giant malls all over America closed down. I mean, thousands of stores, okay, hundreds, closed down. You know what I'm saying? It's like the big mall scene is not it's not going to be what it is in the future. You have these corporations going down. That's what Pluto does. But on top of that, the corporations have a stronghold power that they shouldn't have over the people. They can control Congress, lobbyists. They can control the legal system because they can pay them off. You have these apartment complex, these apartment complexes whose main offices are not even located in the state that they have these apartment complexes in. But yet and still they're able to raise the rent all of a sudden for a lot of us, for a lot of people, over $200 a month. $200 a month and better, over, without any slack, without having to face the legal system. They're being allowed to do that. So like I said, corporations, they really run society, and they influence what laws come into for what are made, because they could say, look, we need you to do this, and pay a legislator, Congress off, and then its legislation is up to voting. Sometimes we don't even need to vote on them. They just put that stuff into action, and most time it does not benefit the average system. So I think that we already know that that's fascism. Anytime corporations are allowed to have dominant control over society, that's fascist. That's definitely not a republic. It's not democracy. It's none of that. That's a fascist state that we're living in. So I believe the sun and the moon, I think, in Venus, and I think Mercury, I'm not sure, like I said, look it up, is squaring at least planet Pluto in Capricorn. Might be more than one planet. So I'm kind of thinking that this planetary alignment is going to change the relationship between Libra, representing the legal system, and Capricorn, representing the corporations. And I think it's going to change it permanently. I kind of feel that either the legal system is going to start chipping away at corporate power, and authority over the lives of Americans. Okay? Now, I don't know exactly how it's going to go down, but it's definitely, I believe that it's going to start squaring off, because we have a square with the legal system is going to start addressing the corporate entities, to take some of that power from them, because their corporations are going through a transformation at this point anyway, and then this eclipse pops off, so they're going to start losing the power that they have. A lot of corporations are going to fall. I just, we're already aware of this. It's been happening, but with this eclipse happening, it's gonna just add more strength and power to it. Also, you want to, a lot of relationships are going through a transformation, because Libra and Venus represents relationships. Okay, so gonna have to definitely communicate more, but we're going through a major transformation after this eclipse. Within a year and a half to 2 years from this eclipse, I think that the way that we see relationships and conduct them are going to be totally different from how they are being seen and conducted today. And that's relationships from intimacy to friends, whatever, just the people, period, going through a major reconstruction. But first, things have to be destroyed. That's what Pluto does. It destroys to rebuild. And then it's in Capricorn too, one of the worst signs Pluto can be in, because Capricorn and Saturn, they want to build and maintain, but Pluto and Scorpio, they want to totally destroy it and rebuild it. So that's a hell of a fight in the heavens, but not without us feeling some type of effect some way where in our lives. So I just wanted to bring this to y'all's attention. I hope that I can reach people that have been feeling for some reason they don't even know, extra stressful, trauma's been coming up, you've been angry, and you don't know why, but you haven't even thought about why. But definitely Pluto is trying to tell you, you have never really come to terms with that, with those situations and with the stress, and it's just time to come to terms with it. Get out in the open, seek therapy, and deal with it. So see it like that, so you can not fall into the dark hole that's waiting for you, but instead you have the enlightenment to say, okay, this is happening because of what is happening in the cosmos, and I don't have to. I can work with the restorative and the healing side of Pluto, to make my life better, so I don't have to stress and feel like everything is hopeless, and allow this trauma to come up and put me and people around me in a place where it can get quite dangerous. It can get quite dangerous. So I love you. I care about you. I thank you for listening. One more thing. You want to be people who know astrology is real, like myself. You want to be very careful about forming, getting married and stuff during this time and things like that. I feel that this people who get married at this time, marriage is hard anyway. I've never been married, but I can, I hear about the stories. I hear the stories, and just cohabitating with people who are totally different and stuff like that, can be difficult. So also this, this could be a time to heal heal a marriage, heal anything, but you have to know that you have to vibrate to the healing energy, and not the destructive. So I just wanted to bring this video to you guys. I hope that it helps. Again, thank you for listening. Like and share. Peace.